It's funny. Every time we get to the new year, we spend so much time looking at maps.
Physical maps.
Exactly. Physical maps. We look at borders, where tanks are moving, shipping lanes. It all feels very old school. Like we're obsessed with geography.
Well, the thing is, as we're heading into 2025, the map that really matters is it's completely invisible.
It's just laid right on top of us.
All the time. And its borders, they change every single second. The report we're looking at today, the Thales S21 SEC Threat Landscape Report, it basically says the front line isn't a place.
It's why.
It's a state of connectivity.
Okay, that's a heavy concept to start us off. A state of connectivity. So if I'm online, I'm on the front line.
In a way, yes.
Yeah.
If you're connected, you're on the battlefield. That's the reality for 2025. The distance between you and, say, a state-sponsored actor is zero.
Just one connection.
Just one.
So our mission today is to try and navigate this battlefield. We're using this Thales data from the last half of 2024 to see what's coming. And look, the goal here isn't to just, scare everyone.
No, fear isn't helpful. It paralyzes.
Right.
Understanding the mechanisms, that's what empowers. We want to get into the business of cybercrime, because that's what this report shows. Hacking isn't mischief anymore. It's an industry.
A whole economy, a huge global unregulated economy, and it's smashing into geopolitics in a way I don't think we've ever really seen.
Well, let's start with the who.
Okay, yeah. The report lists the usual suspects. Ransomware, malware, hacktivists. I feel like I see these names every single year. Is anything new here?
The characters are the same, but
Right.
their gear is way better. Think of it like a bank robber with a handwritten note versus a team with thermal drills. It's the sophistication that's changed.
Better
A
execution.
highly professionalized execution.
Okay, so one term that I keep seeing everywhere, and I think we really need to nail this down for everyone, is zero-day vulnerability.
Ah, yeah. The holy grail for a hacker.
What does that actually mean in plain English?
Okay, imagine you buy a brand new, super high-tech lock for your house. You think it's secure. But there's a tiny microscopic flaw in the design that nobody knows about.
Not even the company that made the lock.
Nobody. They've had 0 days to fix it. But the hacker, they found it. So now they have a master key that works on everyone's door until the company finally figures it out.
Which is terrifying because there's basically no defense. You can't fix what you don't know is broken.
Exactly. And the report shows a huge spike in hackers using these. It used to be only governments could find 0 days. Now, criminal groups are finding them. We're just buying them.
And the report breaks down how they get in, right? The 3 main ways.
Yep. Number 1 is what we just talked about, vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
Just unpatched computers hanging out on the internet,
That's like leaving the window open.
basically. Number 2 is stolen credentials.
Which is just buying passwords off the dark web.
Pretty much. Why pick the lock when you could just buy the key? There are billions of leaked passwords out there. If you reuse yours, you're a target.
And then there's number 3, the one that always stings a little.
Us. The human factor.
Oops.
That phishing email that looks just real enough, that urgent invoice, the report makes it so clear. You can have all the fancy defenses in the world, but the easiest way in is still just tricking the guard.
I read this one quote from an expert in the report, Roman Ramirez, and it really stuck with me. He said the defender has a permanent disadvantage.
The asymmetry of it all. Yeah.
He says the attacker only has to get lucky once. 1 click, 1 bad password. But you, the defender, you have to do perfect every second of every day.
It's exhausting.
Mm.
And they count on that exhaustion. Which brings us to the business model. This is maybe the most important thing in the whole report.
The Netflix model.
Ransomware-as-a-Service. RAIThies.
Okay, this is the part that honestly blew my mind. I still picture a hacker as, some lone genius in a hoodie.
That image is altogether 20 years out of date.
Mm-hmm.
Think about a regular software company. They have developers, a sales team, customer support. Cybercrime has the exact same structure now.
So wait, how does the service part work?
So you're a criminal, but you can't code. You go to a RAS platform, you sign up as an affiliate. They give you everything. The malware, the tools, even a negotiation dashboard to talk to your victim.
A dashboard, like a customer service portal for crime?
With FAQs.
Yeah.
Sometimes even a help desk for the criminal.
Yeah.
So you launch the attack, the victim pays, and the platform automatically takes its cut, say 20%, and sends you the rest.
That is just disturbingly efficient. It's the McDonald's of crime.
It is. It lowers the barrier to entry to almost nothing. You don't have to be a genius. You just have to be willing to do it.
And that's why attacks are just exploding.
It's been democratized.
So who are they hitting? The report says the financial sector is still #1.
Of course. That's where the money is. The Willie Sutton rule.
But the other targets are what's interesting. Defense and aeronautics are way up.
And that ties right back to geopolitics. If you're a hacker aligned with the government, you're not after money from a defense contractor. You're after blueprints. Espionage?
But the one that really got me was healthcare. A huge jump in attacks on hospitals.
It's a ruthless calculation.
Why them?
It's a term called downtime tolerance. If a retail website goes down, it's annoying. But if a hospital's IT system goes down, surgeries get canceled, patient records are gone, people can actually die.
So the hackers know the hospital has to pay. And pay fast.
They know the clock is ticking on human lives. It's horrific. But from their business perspective, it's a perfect target.
It's literal hostage taking.
Oh, yes. And this all bleeds directly into the next major point in the report, which is this collision of crime and geopolitics. The report gets very specific about Russia, Ukraine, and the Israel-Hamas conflict.
This is where it all gets so blurry. It used to be criminals wanted money, spies wanted secrets. Now it seems like you have criminals acting like patriotic militias.
That's the war by other means. You can't separate the physical war on the ground from the digital one. They happen at the same time.
Yeah.
A cyber offensive often comes right before the physical one.
But it's not just about taking down a power grid, is it? The report talks a lot about influence operations.
This is the softer and maybe even more dangerous side of it. It's not about hacking a server. It's about hacking the public narrative.
Disinformation.
On an industrial scale. We're talking about coordinated, funded campaigns to spread confusion, to erode support for a country. This isn't just random trolls.
The report had that case study on a group called No Name.
Yeah, No Name 057.
Yeah.
They're a pro-Russian hacktivist group. And their logic is what's so scary for businesses. They don't just target the Ukrainian military.
Target anyone who supports Ukraine.
Exactly. This is the innocent bystander problem. The thing is, in a digital war, there are no innocent bystanders. If you're a logistics company in Poland moving aid, or a bank enforcing sanctions, No Name sees you as a valid military target.
So a CEO just trying to run a business is suddenly on a geopolitical hit list.
That's it. Taking a political stance, or even just doing business with someone in a conflict, paints a target on your back. You're in the war, whether you signed up or not.
Which brings up a huge question of responsibility. If my government's policies put my company at risk, shouldn't they? I don't know, help me.
The report argues, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
It says governments have a duty to warn the private sector. They have the intelligence. They know retaliation is coming. They need to tell the companies to prepare.
If you poke the bear, tell the villagers to lock their doors.
That's a good way to put it. The problem is, a lot of the villagers have no idea how to lock their doors.
Okay, let's talk about those villagers. The report draws this big line between the giant global corporations and the small to medium businesses, the SMBs.
They're living in totally different realities. The big companies, they know their targets. They have security officers, budgets, monitoring. They still have issues, but they're at least in the game.
And the small businesses.
Denial. Complete denial. The mindset is still, I make paper clips. Who would want to hack me?
And we know the answer now. With Rise, the answer is everyone.
Everyone. Because you have data. You have employee records. Or you're just a stepping stone to a bigger company you work with.
There was that anecdote in the notes about what happens when these firms try to wake executives up, the oh no moment.
Right. This is where it gets real. An intelligence firm comes in and says, let us show you your digital footprint. They just look at what's already out there for sale on the deep and dark web.
Okay, just to clarify, deep web is stuff not on Google. Dark web is where the illegal marketplaces are.
Correct. So the analysts come back with a file.
And what's in it?
This is where the jaws hit the floor. They show an executive, here's your corporate email address, and here is a password we found for sale that works with it.
Wow.
A password that was probably stolen years ago from some other breach like LinkedIn or Adobe.
But why does an old password matter if I changed it?
Because people reuse them, or they just change it slightly. Password 123 becomes password 12334. It gives the hackers a place to start what's called credential stuffing.
Credential stuffing?
They just take a massive list of stolen passwords and automatically stuff them into every login page they can find until one works.
And you mentioned fake profiles.
Oh, yeah. That's for social engineering. If I can create a believable fake profile of your CEO, or I've read their leaked emails and know how they talk, I can send an email to your finance department.
The please wire $50,000 to this vendor, immediately email.
And if it sounds like the boss, the finance director, They often just do it. You're not hacking the computer, you're hacking the corporate hierarchy.
So let's say the worst happens. What's this defer thing the report mentions?
EFIR, digital forensics and incident response.
Sounds like CSI. What do they actually do?
Think of them like paramedics. First, stop the bleeding. Isolate the infected machines. Then, preserve the evidence for insurance or lawsuits.
And I'm guessing managing your reputation is a huge part of it.
It's critical. When do you tell your customers? How much do you say? It's a total high-wire act.
So the report tries to end on a slightly hopeful note. It mentions police stings, like Operation Kronos.
There were huge wins. Operation Kronos took down the infrastructure of Lockbit, one of the biggest ransomware gangs ever. They seized servers, made arrests. It was a big deal. But
I can hear the but.
these groups are like the Hydra. You cut off one head, two more grow back. When Lockbit went down, all its affiliates just migrated to other RAS platforms.
So you create a vacuum and it gets filled instantly.
Instantly. And the police are just outgunned. The criminals have better tech, more money, and they don't have to worry about borders. It's high-stakes whack-a-mole.
So looking at 2025, the forecast is more of the same, but worse. Smarter threats, more political motives, and law enforcement just trying to keep up.
That's a fair, if a bit depressing, summary. The drivers, the geopolitics, the profitability of RAS, none of that is going away.
So if we have to boil this all down for someone listening, someone who isn't a security chief, what can they actually do?
You know, it sounds like a cliche, but the report comes back to it again and again. Awareness.
Just knowing this stuff is out there.
Knowing that you are the target. All the technology in the world can't save you if you click the link. We are the weakest link. But that also means we're the most powerful one.
It's about breaking that automatic response.
Stop clicking. Stop trusting blindly. Your critical thinking is the best firewall you have. If an email makes you feel rushed or panicked, that's a huge red flag. Pick up the phone and verify it.
Verification. That feels like the word for 2025.
It is.
So as we wrap up, I just want to leave you with a thought that really stuck with me from that whole discussion on influence operations. We talked about how they can impersonate CEOs and manipulate news.
The distortion of reality.
Right. For 20 years, we've built this world where almost all of our information comes through a screen. We just assume that what we see is, real.
Seeing is believing.
But in 2025, seeing might just be the first step in being deceived. So the question isn't just, is my password safe?
No, it's, is my reality real?
How much of what you see on your screen today can you actually trust without verifying it first? Something to think about. That's it for this deep dive. Stay safe and stay skeptical.
Verify everything.
We'll catch you in the next one.